About them. I've been supporting them for years. I wouldn't ask you to support a cause I too am not deeply involved in. In 2020, buildinghomesforheroes.org, they have a goal. They need all of our help. They plan to construct and gift a record number of homes, 40 homes for 40 veterans and their families, those that served and sacrificed so much for all of us. 40 new families will live in beautiful new homes in 2020 with your assistance. And buildinghomesforheroes.org, they continue to go above and beyond, helping our veterans by providing emergency funding to get veterans out of debt, financial guidance, assisting veterans in starting new businesses. They host retreats to help keep families together. They help them train with Paralympics, the Warrior Games, and so much more. So please join me. Support one of a kind, this great organization. Go to buildinghomesforheroes.org.
Are you ready to take a ride on the dark side? Then slide your leg over the 2019 Yamaha MT-10, MT-09, and MT-07 at Yamaha of Warren. Prepare to experience the world-beating combination of naked bike power, style, and performance around every corner. Uncompromisingly fierce and just as wicked as ever. Visit Yamaha of Warren and prepare to embrace the dark side. Visit Yamaha of Warren, Route 45 Champion. Dress properly for your ride with a helmet, eye protection, riding jacket, or long sleeve shirt, long pants, gloves, and boots. And don't drink and drive. It's illegal and dangerous.
Alrighty, we rejoin our segment. Before we do that, since I'm going to Daytona and the AMA is going to be all over, I'd like to congratulate James Holter. Jim has been helping us out a lot whenever we had some issues or we needed some help on something, and I just got an email from the AMA that he has been promoted to Chief Operating Officer, so he now can go COO behind his name.
Ooh.
And certainly want to throw a shout out to former Asphalt Angel Cub reporter Michael Marino, who is on staff and does a tremendous job with the American Motorcyclist magazine. Michael, hoping to see you down in Daytona. All right, Roy, we want to go back to Daytona now. Where are we at?
Yeah, he'll be down there, I know, this year. He likes it. He just wishes he could stay there longer. I know the weather's always beautiful. But there's a lot of things to see and do in town. We always went to Cycle Gear, who always had sales. And then just down the street, just west of there a little bit, on the other side of the road, was JP Cycles. And they have a huge tent down there, along with a whole bunch of other people that are selling Farkles for the bikes. They're putting radio speakers in and hand guards and grips and all kinds of anything for your motorcycle. You can find it right there, just west of the speedway there. And there's some interesting things, some new stuff down there. I know when the Slingshot came out, we went over there and they were doing some loops with it and spinning, just doing Brodies with them. And they hung on the ground. You would have thought that they would have went up on one wheel or two wheels, but they didn't. They stayed on the ground and smoked those tires.
Speaking of smoking, we're going to head out and catch up with maybe John Adamski, go get a beer there with him. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in all Tuesdays and on Saturdays. And don't forget, download that iHeartRadio app. Take us with you to Daytona. Hope everybody stops by Saturday at 11 a.m. Newcastle Harley-Davidson. Catch the contest, and there'll be 15% off all accessories and parts and stuff. So Larry, Roy, Bob, Ted Guthrie, Norm Kern, and the whole crew, talk to you later.
Time to get on out of here. The Two-Wheel Power Hour Motorcycle Show, brought to you by Fairway Ford. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
On AM and thousands of devices, including Amazon Echo, Google Home, and Sonos. With our iHeartRadio app, 570 WKBN, Youngstown. It's 1 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In the next hour, President Trump expected to hold a briefing at the White House. He tweeted that it will be an update on the coronavirus. It comes as the number of confirmed cases in the U.S. this past week is on the rise. The CDC confirming more than 60 confirmed cases overall, and new activity in western states is raising red flags. Oregon health officials say they have 2 people who have tested positive for the virus. That in addition to a woman in Northern California. More from ABC's Kaylee Hartung in Sacramento.
The first case of unknown origin in Solano County, California. That woman now hospitalized here in Sacramento. She's on a ventilator. She is critically ill. A second case in Santa Clara County, just south of here. And overnight, we learned of cases in Oregon, the first case in that state, and another in Washington state.
In South Carolina, the polls are open as voters decide which Democratic candidates should get the state's 52 delegates. Senator Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden leading in those polls, along with former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Candidates also looking ahead to Super Tuesday states. At a stop this morning in Columbia, Buttigieg making a bold prediction.
I can't thank you enough. I feel a wind at my back as we continue our campaign here. And then it is on to Super Tuesday, which is less than 72 hours from now, and we are going to stun the world.
The U.S. and Taliban entering an historic agreement today in Doha that could bring an end to the war in Afghanistan after 18 years and bring U.S. troops home. Those are the cheers. Part of that deal includes the Taliban working out a power-sharing deal with the Afghan government, preventing the country from becoming a harbor for terrorists again. Secretary of Defense Mark Esper addressing service members after the signing.
If the Taliban fail to uphold their commitments, they will forfeit their chance to engage in negotiations with the Afghan government and will not have a say in the future of this country.
If the deal holds, U.S. troops would leave by June of next year. You're listening to ABC News.
A Mahoney County grand jury has indicted a Chicago man arrested back on Christmas Eve after police discovered he exchanged nude photos via text messages with a minor. 19-year-old Rayan Hussein faces charges including pandering obscenity involving a minor. Reports say he drove to a Shields Road home from Chicago to meet a 14-year-old girl he had been talking to online. A Crawford County man was killed Friday morning at a New Wilmington business when a trailer fell on him while he was underneath it. The Lawrence County Coroner's Office says it happened on the property of Wilson Excavating on East Neshannock Avenue. The victim was identified as 24-year-old Wade Peterson of Cochranton. The city of Campbell is using money from the sold water plant to fix up vacant properties. Mayor Nick Phillips says the city is hard at work cleaning up blight. He also says he's working with surrounding communities like Youngstown to clean up and improve properties on Route 422 or McCartney Road. Residents at the Reeves apartment complex on West Market in Warren will have a little more time to find new places to live after an agreement was reached between the building's new owner and the city of Warren. The new owner wants to begin renovation to convert it to high-end apartments. Initially, the residents were given 30 days to move out. However, renters raised concerns that what amounts to an eviction overlooks the realities of the poor, elderly, and even disabled. A 55-year-old Adams Avenue resident in Warren, whose dog was stolen from her fenced-in yard back on February 21st, told police an unknown man tried to extort $3,000 for the dog's return. Virginia Gullib says when she told the man she did not have the money, he threatened to kill the dog. Police are investigating. And today is Leap Day. A leap day is added in various solar calendars due to the Earth's period of orbital revolution around the sun takes approximately 6 hours longer than 365 whole days. A leap day compensates for the lag. Otherwise, seasons would occur later than intended on the calendar year. From the Columbiana Cadillac Buick Chevrolet Newsroom, drivecolumbiana.com, I'm Dave Price.
For your home or business, call Mazza's Heating and AC in Girard, 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Expect mostly cloudy skies into the afternoon after morning flurries. Another cold day. We start off in the teens on Saturday and heat up into the upper 20s. Tonight, the last of the really frigid nights, partly cloudy, low dropping into the upper teens. In your Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jim Lowboy.
The Youngstown Symphony invites you on a spiritual journey on the road to peace and freedom. March 7th, featuring the world's leading tenor, Lawrence Brownlee, inspiring live performances and the words of the Reverend Martin Luther King. For tickets, call 330-744-0264.
You want that new or used vehicle, but your credit score isn't exactly what you need? You work hard, you've always paid your bills. Who can you turn to? Hi, this is Tino Merlo from Toyota of Warren. Stop in and see me or my staff. Toyota of Warren's here to help, and we can get you financed.
Hi there, this is Dan Rivers. Are you looking for a fun and relaxing place to spend your retirement years? A place that you can enjoy an activity-rich, worry-free lifestyle? Well, come explore Copeland Oaks Retirement Community and Crandall Medical Center Sunday, March 8th, 1 to 4. See for yourself what opportunities await. Fall in love with campus life as a senior. Visit Copeland Oaks in nearby Sebring. That's Sunday, March 8th, 1 to 4. Visit them online at CopelandOaks.com. CopelandOaks.com.
If you have questions about coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, you can visit the Centers for Disease Control website at cdc.gov to get all the latest information. The CDC is our nation's health protection agency and works 24/7 to fight disease and supports communities and citizens to do the same.
Don't you dare miss Goodwill's Gems Jewelry Sale and Charity Auction. It's Friday, March 13th at Stampa Auditorium. This annual fundraiser is loads of fun. Call 330-759-7921 for more info. Or visit goodwillyoungstown.org.
All right, welcome everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show, and I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer. This is your Saturday show where we talk about things that are happening in tech and science and business and anything else that's rattling around in pop culture. And you know, the function of this show from the very beginning was to take all of you in the audience, which is this great big group of collected smarts, and start talking about some tech in front of people. And if you don't have a lot of exposure, you don't feel like you have a lot of experience, and you feel like you're at a disadvantage just by being around people talking about this stuff, you pick up on the language and the context of what's being talked about. We keep it at a level so that we're not talking over you. You can understand the language that we're using, and it helps to give you a little bit of confidence to be able to use this stuff as the tools that it really could be. Just to give you an example, I've always been sort of disappointed that all of the function that a computer can provide for most of us and how little of that function we actually use. And I always wondered, like, why? What causes us to get to a certain level and stop, right? So we use it for its entertainment value. We do social media, we watch funny videos, we watch streams, and a lot of us, that's the extent of where we go with it. And it's not so much that we're intimidated, the factor that it's outmaneuvering us because it's so technical. It's actually gotten to the point where it's very intuitive. That 5-year-old kids can pick up a tablet, figure out how to use it, and they can navigate themselves around. Now, you out there probably. Again, you probably know more than the 5-year-old about getting along, but there's certain things that sort of, vacancies that technology is filling, and it's taking the place of maybe some entertainment that you would typically be doing, television, and now you're on social media. Now, the thing about social media is the science is behind it, the psychology is behind social media. They know what you do. They know the color schemes that grab your attention. They know what kind of content keeps that attention, and their job is to suck you in and keep you there as long as possible. Because the social media that grabs your attention and keeps you there ends up winning because that's the one that makes more money than the one that doesn't grab your attention. So you will never reach the end of the internet. You will always have something to scroll through. You add friends and interests and likes, and you will always be, interests will be crafted for you. So what does this mean? So I'm a big proponent of technology as enabling people to sort of go down all the pathways of their dreams and be able to use this technology to make things happen that otherwise couldn't happen. So, for instance, when I was a kid, I so wanted to write a book. I'd grab my little spiral notebook and I would jot down paragraph by paragraph stories, and I would take my little short stories and I would put them in an envelope, and I would send them to not editors, but publishers, and I would get these letters back that say, I'm sorry, but we did not accept your manuscript, and this long process of a kid trying to get published, right? And it was extremely demoralizing to go through all of that process thinking that, somebody was going to give you a chance to get something published. And now technology and the vast expanses of the millions of different ways that you can yourself, without anybody's permission, get published. And that's what I'm talking about. These tools, you pretty much can take any dream that's in your head and make it be realized without really getting someone to rubber stamp you and to go along with it, right? You can do it yourself. My aunt just self-published a book. And all you really need to do is write your manuscript out, Amazon has a whole publishing part of their company that does self-publishing, and they give you the templates, and you upload your artwork, and you design your cover, and you assign yourself in a serial number for the book. You have to purchase so many of the initial copies for a couple $100 get you started. And then they distribute it for you. They put it out there so that people could buy it. And then you go around on social media and say, "Hey, I've got this book that I published." And if the content is good, you are self-published, right? So that it's amazing why more people, when it's easier to get book published, don't. And when I was trying, there was more people that were trying to get books published, and it was harder to be able to do that. So that whole story is going along with the technology is a tool to be able to take something, whether it be an invention, whether it be commentary, whether it be entertainment, artists and musicians and actors, all of that stuff. This tech could help you into taking something that isn't today and give you an outlet to be able to really highlight what it is that makes you you. So earlier this morning on Facebook, I asked that people share their talents. Something, what I wanted to get to was something that you wouldn't mind getting up every day and doing. And not a job, not your work, not your profession, but something that you would wake up every day and be excited to jump out of bed and start doing. It wouldn't even feel like a job because you would want to do it so badly. So in the mornings, I get to dream a little bit. I get to work on new companies and new ideas. Most exciting part of my day because I get up and I can try something out. I could write up some verbiage. I could whiteboard it and dream it up. And I could really start using my imagination. There's no connections to it. There's nothing invested in it. There's no requirements. And I love that part of my day every day for that reason, that I can just explore and dream. So the reason I connect these two things is because if you take your dream and you just tell your friends about it, and you don't. You don't have connections in the business world, and you don't have connections with publishers. You don't have connections with managers and the people that could take your content and distribute it. A lot of times those ideas will just kind of just roll around in your head, and it might die there. And that's what I want to see not happen, is that there's a whole bunch of genius out there that's getting swallowed up just because people don't know what to do and how to use this technology to be able to forward some of those things, into the marketplace. And so we're going to spend a couple months here in the spring trying to take some of our diamonds in the rough and give them sort of a little bit of the spotlight to see if the marketplace could help discover and give these people a path. Because I'm telling you, I want all of you listening out there to be able to, at some point in your life, to explore your dreams in a way where you take it serious and we take it serious and the marketplace takes it serious. And a lot of you might be able to realize, instead of doing a 9-to-5 that pays the bills, you might be actually able to convert your days doing something you love doing. And that's what I want to see. I want to see if we can get a couple of these rolling. And so, again, going back to how the show started, where a lot of you were swearing off technology, you didn't want to use it. And I understood it because it's, we like paper, we like physical, and we don't really like change. And I'm one of those people. Change represents going from something that's halfway secure to something that's an unknown. So I get how, our biology has always been resistant to changing for the sake of change, right? If you're happy and you're paying your bills and you find some security, the last thing in the world you want someone to do is come through and gumming stuff up and make you have to do different things, right? But we're in a market now where it's not a slow work your 40 years, retire, and that's it. You got people that are working multiple jobs and maybe have 20 jobs before they find their profession, or might not ever find a job that's their forever job. You might be able to maneuver around every occupation. I mean, you got to look at the marketplace here. What are we doing with this Amazon thing, right? They own not only a masterful distribution network to get products and services to you, but now they have brick and mortar stuff that is infusing tech. Like, there's a couple of grocery stores that is owned by Amazon. They stock it with stuff. They give you a little app. You walk in the store with your app, you cruise around, grab food, and you just walk out. And they have sensors inside the store that could tell what you took, proximity to what the app was, and that just bills your Amazon account for whatever you purchased. So it wasn't a physical body in the store that checked you out, right? It was just, there's probably people that stock the shelves, and then you go and peruse the shelves and grab what you need and you leave, right? So these different technologies are separating us, disconnecting us, and making it so that we're commoditizing most of what people were doing before, whether it be robots or artificial intelligence. A lot of this stuff can be done with computers and the software that's behind them. And so you see where the marketplace is going. I mean, do you want to be a cog in the wheel in something where you're just a commodity, or do you want to take the finer parts of your brain, the thinking and the imagination and the creativity, the stuff that really matters, the unique stuff about you, and then use this technology to get that out there now? So you're not a commodity, you are a resource that the rest of the marketplace could tap into and use you for whatever it is that you do. So if you're a singer, if you're an artist, if you're, you got business skills, you got invention skills, all of this stuff, if you let the marketplace know that you do it, then people can use you as one of those people. So if you are, I meet a lot of inventors for some reason. And inventors have trouble because they formulate a product, they have this really great idea, they go out and they get the intellectual property protected, and they don't know what to do with it from that point. So there's a lot of people that have these amazing ideas that, they don't know if they want to self-produce, where they just want to take their own intellectual property and make a product out of it and sell it in Targets and put it on Amazon and whatever, or they want to offload the intellectual property. They find a 3M or a big manufacturing company that wants to take their intellectual property and sell them by licensing from them, or if they just want to take their idea and sell it. Right? And so there's a lot of people with those ideas that are sitting on the sidelines not knowing what to do with it. So I hope through shows like ours that we talk about this stuff in a way that will inspire you, number one, because you don't need us to do this, right? You don't need a coach that cheers you on. Once you know that all this stuff is possible, there is a YouTube video literally on everything that I'm talking about. Whether it be opening an Amazon store and selling your widget, or if you are, want to sell podcasting. My son and I are going to be teaching a class for 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds about setting up their own podcasting studio. Do you know why it's so? Why we're doing this for 10, 11-year-olds? Because literally anybody could do it. Literally anybody could set up a $60 camera, connect it to a computer, have a microphone, again, very inexpensively, and they can put content together. So if you're good at talking, if you're good at putting together ideas, you can put your ideas out there and become part of content creation. And kids love this. Kids love to be able to have an outlet where they could express themselves and be part of it. Now, as parents, why would you want to diffuse that? The whole next generation, they interact with one another way differently than we did. It's not that people get together and have conversations, right? They have these small, more transactional, more impersonal, interactions with one another. And so, as I said, I hope this show provides, some insights to start looking at the computers that are sitting in front of us and seeing how they can enable you to do more than you're doing today. I literally want you to dig through your soul and find stuff that you would rather be doing, and know that there's a guy over here on this side of the microphone that thinks you could do it, right? And knows that there are tools in front of you that can help you do it. And it's a matter of organizing those ideas and then putting them in front of a guy like me and say, okay, well, this is an easy one. Mostly, a lot of business owners come to me and we talk about these ideas. Startups, people who've been doing this for a little while. And so there really isn't anything that I haven't heard. There isn't an idea that is terrible and bad. If it comes from imagination and you're willing to work on things, most stuff we can get to work in the marketplace because there are others just like you. And you might think that it's so unique that the market's really limited. Well, okay, there's millions and billions of people on this planet, and the marketplace is worldwide. We will find people that want to buy something from you or provide services to those people using the marketplace. So I appreciate you letting me go on that diatribe, because a lot of what we're doing in the next era of what Youngstown Computer does is enabling people, and not just through cash and helping fund businesses, but getting people off the sidelines is number one with us. getting people to, sort of realize their potential and stop having all of these people tell you how something can't be done. I'm so sick of people saying how something's not going to work or it's a scam or you can't do it or it's already been done. I mean, all this talk, has been so pervasive in this area. One of my big complaints early on that I saw next generation of people, they weren't starting businesses. All of the business starters were my age. 40 and up. So everybody from 40 to 60 were doing business. What was everybody else doing? Working for them, getting jobs. And now, right now, in the city of Youngstown, I'm seeing the age group drop younger and younger and younger about people who are doing this whole business thing, which is it's amazingly reassuring for a guy like me that the next, the previous generation are all going to be retiring and selling their businesses. I need people to replace them. I need big thinkers and dreamers to be able to replace them. So I appreciate you letting me send that out there. And we can talk about computers. We can talk about technology and sciences, whatever, for the rest of the show. 330-729-9977. I want to talk a little bit about media and being able to trust and judge and know who is giving you good information on the internet. So we're going to talk a little bit about judging the information that you're gathering on social media. 330-729-9977. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. I'll be back.
It was an act of evil.
Acts of kindness. Congress must act.
At the top and 30 minutes past the hour.
Given the facts,
stay informed. The time to act.
Now is the time we have to act.
On 570 WKBN.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Now, let's take a quick break to talk about grass. You got a yard to cut, you need to try Hustler Turf Zero-Turn Lawnmower. Now, these mowers are engineered to outperform. They're tested, they're put through the ringer, and then tested some more, ensuring the durability in the harshest conditions. Now, many people actually dread mowing the grass. Don't be one of those people. Get a Hustler today. Now, to find the retailer near you, just go to hustlerturf.com or just dial pound 250, say the keyword lawnmower. That's pound 250, keyword lawnmower, to test it out for yourself. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text from Hustler Turf, and my listeners will also receive a 1 year of extended warranty coverage on their new Hustler Turf lawnmower, a value of up to $499.
With its proud history of innovation, Hustler is truly made for what matters. Visit our friends at hustlerturf.com today to learn more and find a retailer near you. Again, that's hustlerturf.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Message and data rates may apply. Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that advanced your career skills and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? Find out more. Text TEST to 79645. Start on the path to earning your MBA or Business Analytics Master's degree online from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the graduate programs from the top-ranked W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University, offered 100% online. Text TEST to 79645. That's TEST to 79645.
Get Nature Stone and never replace your basement flooring again. Your concrete is uneven, damp, and not healthy. Carpet and tile don't last, breed mold and mildew, and give worthless warranties. Nature Stone permanently corrects uneven concrete and is not affected by dampness or moisture. And with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, there are no hidden maintenance costs. Act now and save up to 50% with our volume discount pricing. Must be installed by the end of February. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Beep's coming. You know what to do.
Hey, I'm gonna just rip this Band-Aid off. We need to break up. You're not good for me. I'm always sweaty and uncomfortable around you, and I'm not getting any benefits from this relationship. You're just a basic memory foam mattress. I deserve better. And before you ask, yes, there is someone else. I've been seeing the purple mattress online for a while now. Don't blame yourself. How can you compete with a bed that totally supports me, hugs my pressure points, and sleeps so effortlessly cool? Not to mention the 100-night trial and free shipping. Now that's a bed with benefits. It'll make me feel better than you ever could.
Break up with your old mattress and get with Purple today. Take advantage of Purple's Snorin' 20 sale and get free sheets and a premium sleep mask when you buy any Purple mattress. That's up to a $158 value. Claim your free premium Purple gifts today by texting PILLOW to 84888. That's keyword PILLOW to 84888. Data rates may apply.
At Fairway Ford in Canfield, we have more new and used trucks on the ground than 8 of our nearest competitors combined. Who's going to work harder to give you the best deal? The dealer with 20 trucks or the dealer with over 600? This is Eric Clark with over 600 trucks at Fairway Ford in Canfield. Call us at 330-5334 or fairwayfordohio.com. We're not only driving our local competition crazy, we're beating the biggest dealers in the nation too, right here in beautiful Canfield, Ohio. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
iHeartRadio is #1 for podcasts, and this week is True Crime Podcast Week. Discover the best of the best, like Monster, DC Sniper, Murder in Oregon, Crime Junkie, Counterclock, and dozens more. Plus, this year's winner for Best True Crime Podcast, Man in the Window.
Ground Zero for the mayhem to come.
Open the app and tap podcasts to take the plunge into True Crime Podcast Week from iHeartRadio. Your music, your stations, and #1 for podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer. It's your Saturday show where we talk about things in tech. Let's go right to the phones. We have Greg up next. Greg, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hey, Joe, you occasionally talk about smart things, et cetera. I live out in Columbiana County, got a notice about 2 weeks ago that they're going to install smart power meters in our area. My concern is, I kind of got a standard answer, but what's to prevent somebody hacking that meter or that area of meters and just shutting the entire power system down?
Well, I think it's more like the meters basically broadcast to home base what the consumption is like. I don't necessarily think they're controlled so much. It's not like they can shut it off. Or well, maybe they can. Maybe they can turn it off and shut it.
Well, that was my question. I wonder if you had heard about it, because if it's just broadcasting the data, you don't even have to go out to the house or go by with a truck that's getting a radio telemetry signal. You can do it all from Akron in their office there. But my concern is, and they kind of won't answer that, is could they shut it off from the central location? And if they can, what's to prevent somebody that's smarter than me to hack that thing and shut it down, or shut a bunch of places down, or shut down the power to a bank?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a fair question. Usually the utilities and government in general, they're usually a little behind. And so they won't really implement something that is secure until something bad happens. So I'm kind of, if we take it and we implement it in small markets, get all the bugs out of it first, have, third parties test it to make sure that it's safe and it's hard to get into, it's thought through properly, then use it bigger scale after it's been proven out. That's probably the proper way of doing it.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your thoughts. Thanks, Joe.
No problem. Thanks for being out there. I appreciate it. And, most devices, when you think Internet of Things, most of your devices, including, I saw a commercial that your faucet is going to be connected to the Internet. And you can say, hey, put 2 liters of water, and then the thing just turns on and spits out water. So all of these become pretty healthy targets for either hacking or security vulnerabilities. But, electric grid has always been on the radar. Even what's controlled now has some computer systems that regulate, and so the fear is that a foreign entity comes in, they go after the grid system, and they're able to shut down big blocks of stuff. I think honestly, the more you decentralize it and have more of your the individual meters doing it, it would almost be harder to have a big impact because it's so decentralized that way. So thanks for the phone call. Appreciate it, Greg. Good question, and I hope I answered it. 330-729-9977. You can also text me at 330-333-4 1-570. And again, when we come back, we're going to talk about disseminating information that you're going to get through these election seasons that are coming at you from social media. So it's not just about fact-checking at this point. It's about who you believe and who you trust source-wise. All right, you're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. I'll be back.
The Youngstown Symphony invites you on a spiritual journey on the road to peace and freedom. March 7th, featuring the world's leading tenor, Lawrence Brownlee, inspiring live performances and the words of the Reverend Martin Luther King. For tickets, call 330-744-0264.
From one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that advanced your career skills and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? Find out more. Text RESULT to 79645. Start on the path to earning your MBA or Business Analytics Master's degree online from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the graduate programs from the top-ranked W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University, offered 100% online. Text RESULT to 79645. That's RESULT to 79645.
Folks who suffer from arthritis, back pain, knee pain, bursitis, or fibromyalgia, learn about targeted pain relief in just 15 minutes. Listen to Discoveries in Health this Sunday morning at 8:30, right here on News Radio 570 WKBN.
Here's some of the stories we're following today. A Mahoney County grand jury has indicted a Chicago man arrested back on Christmas Eve after police discovered he exchanged nude photos via text messages with a minor. The Lawrence County coroner has identified the Crawford County man that was killed Friday morning at a New Wilmington business. The city of Campbell is using money from the sold water plant to fix up vacant properties. Residents at the Reeves apartment complex on West Market Street in Warren will get more time to find new places to live after an agreement was reached between the building's new owner and the city of Warren. A 55-year-old Adams Avenue resident in Warren whose dog was stolen told police an unknown man tried to extort $3,000 for the dog's return. And today is Leap Day. Leap Day is added in various solar calendars due to the Earth's period of orbital revolution around the sun takes approximately 6 hours longer than 365 whole days. The Leap Day compensates for the lag. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 2. From the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's. For your home or business, call Mazza's Heating and AC in Girard. 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Expect mostly cloudy skies into the afternoon after morning flurries. Another cold day. We start off in the teens on Saturday and heat up into the upper 20s. Tonight, the last of the really frigid nights, partly cloudy, low dropping into the upper teens. In your Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jim Lowboy.
Successful companies know that in order to grow faster, you must have the right tools. Whether you're doing $1 million, $10 million, or hundreds of millions in revenue, NetSuite by Oracle gives you the tools you need to accelerate your growth. With NetSuite, you get a full picture of your business, finance, inventory, HR, customers, and more. It's everything you need to grow, all in one place, right from your phone or computer. NetSuite will give you the visibility and control you need to make the right decisions and grow with confidence. That's why NetSuite customers grow faster than the S&P 500. NetSuite is the world's #1 cloud business system, trusted by more than 19,000 companies. It's the last system you'll ever need. NetSuite. Business grows here. Schedule your free product tour right now and receive your free guide, 7 Key Strategies to Grow Your Profits at netsuite.com/smart. That's netsuite.com/smart. netsuite.com/smart.
Dan Rivers for Window Nation, and to celebrate what is usually the coldest month of the year, Window Nation is extending its free window sale. Call right now, get 2 free with every 2 you buy. Any style, any size, any color, windows, free. You want more? Free. How about free financing for 12 full months and put no money down and make no payments for a year? Don't worry about freezing when having your new windows installed, as they work room to room during the install process, keeping your home warm. Window Nation professionals have installed over 200,000 windows just last year alone, 99.5% of them requiring no follow-up service. Free February doesn't stop there. Your heating bill will be free until your new windows are installed with a house full of windows. So celebrate Free February at Window Nation. Get 2 free windows with every 2 you buy. No limit, plus no down payment, no payments, no interest until 2021, and no gas bill. It's free money. You've got nothing to lose and nothing to pay for 1 full year. It's free. 866-90-NATION, 866-90-NATION. Or go to windownation.com and tell them Dan Rivers told you to do so.
Keeps coming. You know what to do.
Hey, I'm gonna just rip this Band-Aid off. We need to break up. You're not good for me. I'm always sweaty and uncomfortable around you, and I'm not getting any benefits from this relationship. You're just a basic memory foam mattress. I deserve better. And before you ask, yes, there is someone else. I've been seeing the purple mattress online for a while now. Don't blame yourself. How can you compete with a bed that totally supports me, hugs my pressure points, and sleeps so effortlessly cool? Not to mention the 100-night trial and free shipping. Now that's a bed with benefits. It'll make me feel better than you ever could.
Break up with your old mattress and get with Purple today. Take advantage of Purple's Snorin' 20 sale and get free sheets and a premium sleep mask when you buy any Purple mattress. That's up to a $158 value. Claim your free premium Purple gifts today by texting PILLOW to 84888. That's keyword PILLOW to 84888. Data rates may apply.
Message and data rates may apply.
Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that advanced your career skills and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? Find out more. Text RESULT to 79645. Start on the path to earning your MBA or Business Analytics Master's degree online from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the graduate programs from the top-ranked W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University, offered 100% online. Text RESULT to 79645. That's RESULT to 79645.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I'm Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer. This is your Saturday show where we get to talk about things that are happening in tech. Before the break, we had a question about the smart meters on electricity and power. Hopefully a lot of our that was a manual job. Someone had to walk your neighborhoods and peek in at your meter and record those things. The technology and computer systems can take that information and relay it back to home base. And then maybe instead of having to walk your neighborhoods every week or every other month, maybe they do an audit once a year, which requires far less manpower to be able to do. But somebody in the audience, and that's the beautiful thing about this show, that when we talk about things, there are extremely specialized, technically minded people in the audience. So if I don't know something, they oftentimes relay it via text message. And this person says the power company literally hooks up a magnetic connector to the meter and uses a laptop to do a disconnection, which means that if there's the ability for a computer system or software to be able to manage, the power being on or off, it could definitely, once it has a remote connection, that it can. So I'm not sure if it's going to be like a cellular connection or it's going to hook in using like a regular phone line, or what it's going to use to communicate. I always wonder that with all of these devices that are talking to the internet, and each one of them have these cellular radio towers, that's a whole lot of cost that gets added. But when you consider that they're replacing human beings doing this, the cost, like, a $50 data connection to save a physical person having to wander neighborhoods is going to be, day and night as far as cost goes. So technology is going to take a lot of these manual jobs and make them more automatic. But again, we have to consider this from the onset. We know this is going to happen years and years and years in advance. A lot of the physical jobs are going to disappear because that's what's going to happen. As soon as a robot As soon as a piece of software can do a job, it will do a job. And so anybody who's doing that job right now, we as a as a marketplace and a culture and a as our neighborhoods and the people that we know and want the best for, we have to plan now what we're going to do. So as a consumer, that's what we do. We're amazing consumers. What are we willing to spend our money on to make sure that a person is providing the service, or don't we care? I mean, there's a lot of activism that is going through right now that, we say what we feel about something, but we do is completely different thing. And so, there will be a point that, there won't be a sit down restaurant in our area, right? There'll be a bunch of kitchens. There'll be people preparing food that drop it into a bag, and a delivery person goes out there and delivers it to people because that's what consumers say that they want. Now, if you're like, hey, well, if you like sitting down and talking with people, you have to do it even when you don't need to do it to keep that open, or else it's going to go away and we're just going to deliver to your house. I mean, restaurant operators, one of the biggest expenses is having so many people around serving people, right? Servers and tables and cleaning and dishes and whatever. What if you could just take your food, which is the golden goose of your operation, throw it in a bag and take it to somebody else, and then all the expenses go with it. You don't need as much electricity and signage, and you just need tech. You need to be able to connect the people want to buy that food, and then the delivery people who want to deliver that food. So, and eventually, even after that, drones can deliver it. Rather than physical people driving their cars around, you could have a drone that swings by. It could be a car, an autonomous car. You throw the food in the autonomous car, and it just takes it out to your house. I find myself, if it weren't really expensive way of eating, I mean, eating out food-wise is pretty expensive on its own. But then you couple that with delivery service fees and tipping every time you eat something, and it's not great. It's not from a cost standpoint, but eventually, when people start coming out of the equation, it'll get to the point where it's just same cost as if you went and ate somewhere. So again, a lot of stuff for us to consider because it's not it's not a cautionary tale. It's not something that might not happen, and it's going to happen. You're going to look down 224, and it's going to be a whole different street. You're going to look in Niles and on 422, and it's going to be a whole different thing. Unless consumers bind together and decide that they're going to, they're going to change the natural dynamics, and they're going to choose to do something in spite of what the rest of the country is going to do and the rest of consumers. Because most of the time, bottom dollar is that if you can provide the service better and do it cheaper, people are going to do it. They're not going to put a stake in the ground and say, I'm not willing to do it. I'm not going to do the kiosk, or I'm not going to do the automatic checkout, or I'm not going to do the delivery service, or I'm not going to use Amazon, all of those things. If they did that, then you'd keep the brick and mortar open. As we show our love and appreciation for brick and mortar by actually shopping there and keeping them in business. But as that retreats, the big retailers retreat, the big anchor stores at our malls. Speaking of which, most malls are not doing great. Ours is different, right? We have two operators, the Southern Park Mall and the Eastwood Mall, that are figuring it out and how to get it done by using the sciences behind retail, and they're doing an exceptional job. And the people who live here are using the facilities and responding to the way that they're doing things. And that's how you keep in this area. So you take that model and you might move it to a different area, and it doesn't do quite as well. Why? Because we have to decide as our local culture whether or not we want it enough to be able to spend more and do more to keep that in the area. I mean, we've had a lot of things in our area because we've been in the past a bigger market. Baseball teams and convocation centers and all the infrastructure that we enjoy. Half of this stuff that if we were inventing it or putting it in here today wouldn't be planted here. Right? We wouldn't get a mall because there's a statistic that says that we don't have enough population to support it, and we wouldn't get it. Or, the Dior or the Covelli Center, or all of that might take a second guess of we're just not big enough of we're struggling getting a cheesecake factory in our area because the disposable income level isn't as high. So again, not to lecture this, not to beat it over the head, but we have to decide how we're going to deal with the infusion of technology in most of our things. When there are still a lot of things when you go around, like a traffic light, right? Does a traffic light have to be a timed mechanism, or could you have sophisticated computer systems that make traffic flow a lot better, right? I think it could be done so much better. I've said at Elm Road every once in a while, no cars in either direction, and it's red light, and 45 seconds later, I'm like, I just sat through a red light where there wasn't a single car in either direction. How stupid is that? How much of a sensor would they have needed to put at that light to show that there was nothing in any direction, and to shorten the 1 minute light so that you don't have to sit there needlessly? That's the kind of thing that software can drastically improve the efficiencies of traffic flow. But anyway, we got to decide what we like, what we don't like, and stick to it. I do give us a lot of credit for doing what we do with the malls, where they're putting the time and the energy into making sure that we have good retailing. They put, I'm telling you, they put their their resources behind it too, and do it to a big level. And I appreciate that as someone who likes to keep local talent both in business and in entertainment in this area, and that's the way that we do it. We shop with we vote with our dollars there. So 330-729-9977. You can text me at 333-1570. Tim, I see you out there. How you doing? Stephen, also, good afternoon to you as well. You can check in with us on Facebook. We do our live stream so that you can check to see what's going on and use the chat room and whatnot. Now, what I mentioned before the break is that we're going into an election season, which means that you're going to be reading a whole lot of stuff that is meant and intended to, I'm not going to say confuse you, but to market to you. They want your vote. They want you to be on their side. And so they basically use language and they market a position to you, right? And they use social media, which it's incredibly hard to regulate the dissemination of that information so that we, in quotes, know it's true. Because marketing language is different from regular language, right? There could be a hint of truth in something without it being true. If I wanted you to get a feeling, like we'll just use something, we'll use an example that's sort of subjective, but I can phrase it in a way where it would be objective. So, for instance, is the economy good right now, right? You can make an argument, a debate, whether or not you think the economy is good or not in any place. So if your standard of a good economy is growth, then you can use a metric and you can use math to be able to show that by your definition of growth, that the economy is good. And another person can take the same statistics that the one guy did and then frame it in a way where this growth is not as great. And it's the same information, but yet through marketing language, they want you to feel a certain way depending on how they want you to vote. And that's the main thing about the election season is depending on which side you're on, you might, if you're watching one station, you're getting one view, and you're watching another station, you're getting another view. Well, how can you have a system of distribution of truthful information and watch two different sources and get two different feelings about what truth really is? And it's so frustrating as a person that just wants information. I want objective data. And because they're so good at marketing the information in a way that either slants it in one direction or the other, you really never know the slant. In fact, if somebody said, hey, I am a conservative, right, that's helpful to me because I know that at least where the bias is coming from. And I could tamp it down and know that, well, you're going to be very pro on this side, and so that I'm going to have to make a little bit better sense of it in that direction. What about objective? Like, how do you tell whether or not something is truthful or not? When you have someone posts a meme on social media and they fact check it, and is the facts correct, and they rate it, and half of these fact checkers need fact checking, right? Because again, if you put a fact checker that is not objective, that has a slant on the information that it's about, well, your information could be slant. And it's not just the information, it's the the information that you don't provide along with it. So it used to be neat when you go to the into an election season, you go to the Board of Elections, and then they would take someone who's partisan on both sides of a deal, and they would allow them to say about everything, what they liked and what they didn't like it. So you knew it was partisan, but since you had partisanship on both sides, you got to hear both sides. You got to weigh it out and find a little bit of commonality between what they were saying. So it was so telling about all of the information that you're consuming. You care, right? You want to know truth. What about the 90% of people who hear something, accept it, and they just think that's the truth? They don't put it through. They don't put it through the same filters that you do. Where what if what you just heard is meant to change your mind and it was a little misleading? What about if it was more marketing material that they want you to feel a certain way about it, and they weren't real? They didn't put a lot of emphasis on it being truthful, because if they gave you objective, you might decide the other way around, and that's not good marketing, right? You want the end, where if it's voting for Tom, then you want your choice to be obvious that what I'm telling you means that Tom is better than the other guy. And so when you're going through social media, and we know that all of the social media fact checkers, they are skewed in one direction or the other at any given time. We know what they're attempting to do. They're trying to make it easier, more palatable. They take the more egregious ones. But the problem is they can't do all of it. So you end up just taking a small portion of it and putting it through a filter that takes the more egregious ones, and then maybe 5 ones that were equally as egregious didn't make it through that filter, and it messes with the whole system. We're better off in a system where it's just free reign. Anybody can say anything, and it's dependent on the consumer of the information to figure out what's true and what's not true. And as long as if we forced everybody to just be able to say objective, truthful things and not allowed to, embellish or throw misleading statistics in there, it would be a lot easier to be able to disseminate that information. But as of right now, we have to rely on what we know and again, prove out and support people who are telling more of the truthful. All right, 330-729-9977, or you can text at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. I'll be back.
Hi, this is Ron Verb. If you need cataract surgery, call Dr. Hannah and the great staff at the Belmont Eye Clinic. They're the ones I trusted my eyes to, and I'm so pleased with the outcome. So when you need cataract surgery, do as I did. Call the Belmont Eye Clinic. There's only one choice when it comes to your vision. That's the Belmont Eye Clinic, with 2 convenient locations in Liberty and Canfield. Make an appointment today, 330-759-7672. That's 330-759-7672.
Dan Rivers for Window Nation, and to celebrate what is usually the coldest month of the year, Window Nation is extending its free window sale. Call right now, get 2 free with every 2 you buy. Any style, any size, any color, windows, free. You want more? Free. How about free financing for 12 full months and put no money down and make no payments for a year? Don't worry about freezing when having your new windows installed, as they work room to room during the install process, keeping your home warm. Window Nation professionals have installed over 200,000 windows just last year alone, 99.5% of them requiring no follow-up service. Free February doesn't stop there. Your heating bill will be free until your new windows are installed with a house full of windows. So celebrate free February at Window Nation. Get 2 free windows with every 2 you buy. No limit, plus no down payment, no payments, no interest until 2021, and no gas bill. It's free money. You've got nothing to lose and nothing to pay for 1 full year. It's free. 866-90-NATION, 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com and tell them Dan Rivers told you to do so.
Message and data rates may apply.
Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that advanced your career skills and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? Find out more. Text TEST to 79645. Start on the path to earning your MBA or Business Analytics Master's degree online from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the graduate programs from the top-ranked W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University, offered 100% online. Text TEST to 79645. That's TEST to 79645.
If you have questions about coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, you can visit the Centers for Disease Control website at cdc.gov to get all the latest information. The CDC is our nation's health protection agency and works 24/7 to fight disease and supports communities and citizens to do the same.
That sound is why we fund life-saving science. That sound is why we push you to be healthier. That sound is why we have an unhealthy obsession with your health at American Heart Association. Get the facts at heart.org/yourhealth.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show, and let me tell you first, going into this spring season, we're going to be doing a couple of hires. So let me tell you a little bit about what Youngstown Computer does. So when we start recruiting the talent in our area, I mean, one of the big things is we do have brain drain in Youngstown, where a lot of our best and brightest, in order to make a decent living, have to move out of the area to companies that can afford and support the payrolls and to be able to pay for the education, the great education they get from YSU and the tech schools around here. We would like to keep a lot of those the brains here in the area. So what we do is we're a computer services company, primarily commercial services. So we fill the role of IT. So if a company is maybe not big enough to be able to have their own IT department, they have enough computers to have enough work, but they can't bring someone full-time to do it. We fill that role perfectly, where we could do the maintenances on them, we can do the engineering and the software, we can design backup and recovery systems. We can pretty much fill that IT void that you might not have, internally. So what we're doing is we're going into the spring. We need about 2 more field techs. We do level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 1 is someone who just came out of school. They don't have a lot of practical experience, but they have some theoretical knowledge. And so level 1 people come out of it. They work the bench and they learn systems, they learn processes, learn how we actually function before they move into a level 2. Level 2 is an actual field support person. And a field support person goes out to these companies and they do maintenance tasks. They do, cleanups and maintenances and backups, make sure updates are done. And then we have a level 3 person who does all of the field and maintenance tasks, as well as project management, where they do the big rollouts and they know, server functions, and they're in control and help all of the level 2 people kind of keep those stuff to go back. We're very customer service oriented. And so we put our customers first, and we make sure that in the ways they need us to be their tech and IT support, that we can fill that role and do it well. So those level 3 people keep everybody organized. So if you know somebody who's got good tech experience, that you can send them our way at any level. Been doing it for 20 years, been doing it for 5 years, or just getting started, and we can find a place for them. Especially great technically minded people. I can teach a lot of tech stuff, but coming across really good, solid people who care for other people is the struggle. So if you know someone who's really good at heart, really likes taking care of people, service minded, we can train them up and get them involved in IT. It goes from like level 1 is around 40, level 2 is around 50,000, and level 3 is can be around 60,000. So it's all based on the abilities, but please send people my way if you think that they're would be a good match for Youngstown Computer. And we're a growth company. For the last 3 or 4 years, we have grown percentage points over percentage points. I think we did 50% growth last year. So we're always looking for really good service techs to take care of customers. So please send your resumes my way, joe@youngstowncomputer.com, or you can call the office and get the information through one of our guys. You can email it or message it on any of the social medias as well. So just get your information to me, and we'd usually do interviewing on Wednesdays, and we're going to start doing a bunch of it because we need 2 people in the field, in the spring here to kind of keep up with our workload. So I'd really appreciate it if you know of anybody, send them our way. Again, recruiting for Youngstown Computer, level 1, level 2, and level 3 is all going to be needed in the upcoming spring. So you're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. I'll be right back.
the biggest day of the presidential race so far. With 14 states and over 1,300 delegates at stake, will a crowded Democratic field finally narrow? MSNBC will bring clarity to the results of Super Tuesday with Brian Williams, Rachel Maddow, and team breaking down the results. Steve Kornacki at the big board making sense of the numbers, and our NBC News road warriors on the ground with the campaigns and the voters. Super Tuesday, all-day coverage Tuesday on MSNBC.
Get Nature's Stone and never replace your garage flooring again. Your concrete is cracked, uneven, and not safe. Paints and poly coatings don't last, are slippery, and give worthless warranties. Nature's Stone permanently corrects cracked, uneven concrete, eliminates slipping hazards, and is easy to clean. And with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, there are no hidden maintenance costs. Act now and save up to 50% with our volume discount pricing. Must be installed by the end of February. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature's Stone.
On AM and thousands of devices, including Amazon Echo, Google Home, and Sonos. With our iHeartRadio app, 570 WKBN, Youngstown. It's 2 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Happening this hour, President Trump holding a briefing at the White House, updating the public on the coronavirus and the first known death here in the U.S.
Unfortunately, one person passed away overnight.
The president says a woman in her 50s in Washington state. Health officials there confirming that. ABC's Alex Stone has more.
All we know at this point is the Washington Department of Public Health is reporting one death from coronavirus in King County in the Seattle area. They'll offer more details later today. They say they'll also update on other cases of coronavirus. There are so-called community spread cases now, known in Oregon, California, and Washington. All of this is still developing.
There are more than 60 confirmed cases of the coronavirus here in the U.S., that according to the CDC. There are no confirmed cases in New York, but dozens of people are being monitored in Nassau County, just outside of New York City. New York's governor earlier today holding a briefing, announcing that the state now has permission from the CDC to conduct its own testing to help catch potential cases faster.
The current system was we had to send every test to Washington to the CDC, and then wait a couple of days to get the tests back. And CDC was having an issue dealing with the volume that they were getting from all across the country.
In South Carolina today, voters still have hours to go to cast their ballots in the state's primary in the Democratic race. That primary could define campaigns one way or the other. Joe Biden hoping for a big win there. Senator Bernie Sanders also giving him a run and leads in the overall delegate count so far. Many candidates moving on to Super Tuesday states, including in Knoxville, Tennessee, Democratic presidential hopeful Amy Klobuchar.
A beautiful blue wall, and we're going to make Donald Trump pay for it.
Klobuchar trying to say she wants to turn the state from red to blue. You're listening to ABC News.
A Mahoney County grand jury has indicted a Chicago man arrested back on Christmas Eve after police discovered he exchanged nude photos via text messages with a minor. 19-year-old Rayan Hussein faces charges including pandering, obscenity involving a minor. Reports say he drove to a Shields Road home from Chicago to meet a 14-year-old girl he had been talking to online. A Crawford County man was killed Friday morning at a New Wilmington business when a trailer fell on him while he was underneath it. The Lawrence County Coroner's Office says it happened on the property of Wilson Excavating on East Neshannock Avenue. The victim was identified as 24-year-old Wade Peterson of Cochranton. The city of Campbell is using money from the sold water plant to fix up vacant properties. Mayor Nick Phillips says the city is hard at work cleaning up blight. He also says he's working with surrounding communities like Youngstown to clean up and improve properties on Route 422 or McCartney Road. Residents at the Reeves apartment complex on West Market in Warren will have a little more time to find new places to live after an agreement was reached between the building's new owner and the city of Warren. The new owner wants to begin renovation to convert it to high-end apartments. Initially, the residents were given 30 days to move out. However, renters raised concerns that what amounts to an eviction overlooks the realities of the poor, elderly, and even disabled. A 55-year-old Adams Avenue resident in Warren, whose dog was stolen from her fenced-in yard back on February 21st, told police an unknown man tried to extort $3,000 for the dog's return. Virginia Gullib says when she told the man she did not have have the money, he threatened to kill the dog. Police are investigating. And today is Leap Day. A leap day is added in various solar calendars due to the Earth's period of orbital revolution around the sun takes approximately 6 hours longer than 365 whole days. A leap day compensates for the lag. Otherwise, seasons would occur later than intended on the calendar year. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
For your home or business, call Mazza's Heating and AC in Girard, 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Expect mostly cloudy skies into the afternoon after morning flurries. Another cold day. We start off in the teens on Saturday and heat up into the upper 20s. Tonight, the last of the really frigid nights, partly cloudy, low dropping into the upper teens. In your Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jim Lowboy.
The unemployment rate is lower than it's been in decades. That means if you're trying to hire a new employee, they probably already have a job, which means you need to try reaching them in a different way. That's where iHeartMedia comes in. Every week, our radio stations reach 93% of the U.S., most likely when they're on their commute or already at work. So start connecting with the qualified candidates you've been looking for on AM/FM radio. Visit iHeartWorks.com. That's iHeartWorks.com.
Wouldn't you like to buy a car with no hassles or back and forth to the mystery guy in the back room? With our simple sales process at Fairway Ford in Canfield, you work with just one person the entire time. Within minutes, you'll have all the information on sale price, trade-in value, interest rate, and payment. There's no running back and forth negotiating. No games, no gimmicks at Fairway Ford. Just a real easy buying experience. See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
The Youngstown Symphony invites you on a spiritual journey on the road to peace and freedom, March 7th, featuring the world's leading tenor, Lawrence Brownlee, inspiring live performances and the words of the Reverend Martin Luther King. For tickets, call 330-744-0264.
Successful companies know that in order to grow faster, you must have the right tools. Whether you're doing $1 million, $10 million, or hundreds of millions in revenue, NetSuite by Oracle gives you the tools you need to accelerate your growth. With NetSuite, you get a full picture of your business: finance, inventory, HR, customers, and more. It's everything you need to grow, all in one place, right from your phone or computer. NetSuite will give you the visibility and control you need to make the right decisions and grow with confidence. That's why NetSuite customers grow faster than the S&P 500. NetSuite is the world's #1 cloud business system, trusted by more than 19,000 companies. It's the last system you'll ever need. NetSuite. Business grows here. Schedule your free product tour right now and receive your free guide, 7 Key Strategies to Grow Your Profits at netsuite.com/smart. That's netsuite.com/smart. netsuite.com/smart.
Message and data rates may apply.
Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that advanced your career skills and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? Find out more. Text TEST to 79645. Start on the path to earning your MBA or Business Analytics Master's degree online from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the graduate programs from the top-ranked W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University, offered 100% online. Text TEST to 79645. That's TEST to 79645.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. This is your Saturday show. We talk about things that are happening in tech, talk about things that are happening in the sciences, anything else that's rolling around in your noggins. If you want to share with the program today, 330-729-9977, or you can text me at 333-1570. I'm setting a spring project. I usually do this going into every coming out of every winter and going into spring, I'll take some kind of energy experiment, some kind of theory, something to test some limitations, or force my household and my family to go through some stuff, get a better understanding for this. Now, a couple years ago, we did about 4 experiments with different types of alternative energies, solar loops and Peltier devices, solar panels and collections with battery arrays and stuff like that, and really take the good and the bad and see how close we were to making things useful from my favorite being solar. And so I bought a couple of panels, 150 watt panels. Got all of the electronics that go along with it that convert the energy into something that's usable, something that will charge a battery, something that will be inverted and things can be plugged into it. And did all the math and the calculations behind it to see if in Ohio you could produce enough electricity to actually be useful. And so the first set of experiments were I wanted to calculate how much sun we actually get that is useful. So I have this little meter that in the morning shows me how many volts are being produced by my 150 watt 2 solar panels. And even when the sun wasn't bright and it was overcast, I would say that out of the 300 watts that I was probably doing about 50% of what the panels should be doing. So even though we didn't get a lot of sunny days going into the spring, there was enough juice there to maybe give me 150 watts worth of power rather than the 300 that it was possible of getting. And what I found at the end of the experiment was that number one, you can produce enough, but storing it is your biggest rub. It's really tough to get enough infrastructure to be able to have a battery that's capable of producing enough powering enough things. So in this situation, let's just say power grid gets attacked, and now you have to live off of your battery bank and your solar panels. So the solar panels can collect new energy. The batteries have to be able to store something. So I took just a lamp, a 15 watt lamp or a 30 watt lamp, plugged it in, and I saw how many hours that I could get off of my stuff. And I'll tell you that it didn't take a whole lot to tax a system with a couple of 12 volt batteries and a 150 watt solar panel. So being usable, I mean, you'd have to have such a lot of equipment to be able to power your things like your refrigerator to keep your food cold, or enough lights, or some of these regular basic appliances would drain you pretty quick. One of them was a sump pump. Your power goes out and you're in the middle of a storm. Could you run your sump pump long enough to be useful so your basement doesn't flood? And so the sump pumps are pretty hardcore on the power that they consume. And so it didn't last a whole, a long time. So batteries were at full charge, and by the second or third day, it was toast. It could not run it enough to keep up with the rain that was outside. And so going into this spring, I'm hopeful that I would like to see if I really made a conscious effort, how much I could reduce in my power consumption, bringing it in line with if I just took 5 or 6 really necessary things, how much I can conserve a limited amount of electricity. And I'm going through all of the appliances, and air conditioner compressors are huge. You wouldn't be able to last a couple hours with your air compressor would take all of your battery out of it. So that would be a no-go. So you just have to warm up to the fact that you're not going to have air conditioning. Second, in Ohio, that's not that bad anyway. But anyway, your food. How can you get a refrigerator which runs and draws a lot of power so that it didn't kill your battery component? So that's number one on my list. It's a big offender. It uses a lot of our total electricity, and I'd like to see if we can get a refrigerator that costs and consumes a lot less electricity than our current one. So we're about due for a refrigerator. So I think it might line up that in the spring we'll try to get a super energy efficient refrigerator and see what that even means. I mean, it might be that your most efficient is still not efficient enough to make alternative energies anywhere near capable of producing enough electricity to be able to survive on for a length of time. You have to really choose to say, okay, well, I'll use lights today and I'll charge the batteries for the next 2 days, and I'm not going to have any electricity because power is so inexpensive in Ohio. What you pay electricity-wise, it's nothing. I mean, you compare it to other countries, you compare it to even different states in our country, and we're paying next to nothing, like a third of what everybody else is paying. So our natural gas production, when it comes to electricity, we have a huge advantage in this area because it's super cheap electricity. So your cost savings on putting up a bunch of solar arrays and batteries, it would take you 20 years to be able to claw back in energy savings because of how limited, or not how limited, but how cheap our normal power is. But I get this little notification in the mail about how much compared to my neighbors we're using. And if you saw that on Facebook this morning, we use about 149% of the people in our neighborhood. Now, granted, I charge a car every night. Okay, so my charging station is a 220 volt, 32 amps. So you multiply that out, and you could see how I'm probably using about 1,000 kilowatt hours a month just charging my car. So if you look at your statement, typical households are around 1,400 kilowatt hours, 1,200 kilowatt hours per month, and mine's about 3,000 kilowatt hours. So I'm using a healthy, significant amount more than most people in my neighborhood, and probably those of you listening out there. So, we've implemented in our household smart light bulbs. We use the Philips Hue system, where we can put scheduling on that at a certain time they come on and at a certain time they go off, and we're more likely in the evenings when we hit one switch and all the light bulbs turn off versus, going around to every room and doing a sweep of the house like your dads and grandparents have done to conserve electricity. We're doing keeping the thermostat low. A lot of this stuff, software and technology can get a handle on. So, for instance, if you set your thermostat so that the temperature is less when there's no activity, like you're at work. So you can make the thermostat go down by 3 or 4 degrees, save yourself on some energy consumption. And then when you get home, it can kick on and put the temperature, back up close to where you wouldn't even notice. And even in the evenings, like when you're sleeping, it might drop 2 or 3 degrees. And then when you wake up, it's back up to where it needs to be. So I think there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to discover through this process on how you can cut some of your usage. I'm pretty good about, every night going into every room and making sure that there aren't any light bulbs. Because I would say I think we have 130 light bulbs in our house. And I think about 100 of them are managed by the Hue system. So there are some that aren't controlled with voice or Alexa or anything like that. So there's still ones that we have to turn off. But another big one is that we've got a couple of dehumidifiers in the basement that are same compressor that you would have in an air conditioning system, a little smaller, but still probably big dogs when it comes to consuming electricity. So, we're going to try to factor and find out best practices so that we're not burning through so much electricity. It's not a cost thing so much because, again, it's pretty cheap. Our monthly electric bill is pretty cheap, but when you look at total consumed, wattage, kilowatt hours, that it's pretty significant. And I just want to see if it could be done. Making a conscious effort to seeing if you could get through there and cut your energy if you needed to. We're contemplating with the coronavirus stuff that if you did need to go into survival mode, if you did get a little bit of a breakdown in what society was producing, either food distribution and water and electricity, if all that stuff decided that you had to take a couple weeks off, how would you fare? I mean, we're not asking that you have systems that are, full generator systems where you could go off grid and life doesn't change. I'm saying in a pinch, can you stave off dying for a period of time? And that's, maybe 2 weeks for the government to snap back services, but you're on your own for that period of time. So could you get your solar array and could you plug in a heater, or could you have, a fireplace, or, could you have enough food and water to be able to survive a couple weeks on your own? Because I'll tell you, I'm not so much afraid of the coronavirus, but I'm afraid of people's reaction to the coronavirus, because I think the panic and the fear drives a lot of what happens, not necessarily the virus in itself. And it's got the potential to be able to have one of those effects on your neighbors. And if your neighbors panic, you're screwed. So you better get halfway prepared so that if that does happen, not so much that we're afraid of the pandemic and everybody getting sick, but the depletion of fuel sources when everybody makes a run at the grocery store or the gas stations and just buys everything just out of total fear, creates big shortfalls, and then it just feeds on itself. So you got to contemplate that. And me saying this on the air with all of you listening, I mean, that could make people react, and that reaction is what might make the panic happen. So it doesn't take much to get unsettled to the point where just the reaction to it is way worse than if somebody would have just sat back and watched it unfold, before them. But it's worth, again, looking through your household, making sure you got food stores, making sure you got, water that you can get to. And, if the electricity conked out today, what would you do? I go through these whole hypotheticals of, sectioning off a portion of my house and laying drop cloths down and making sure those rooms have the necessities with food, a way of warming it up, and having a little bit of food storage with a mini fridge, and just being able to go through and at least survive for a couple of weeks. It would not be great. It would not be a Hilton, that's for sure. But I think a couple of weeks I could get by. Just on stuff that we've secured. And I'm not talking like long-term stuff where, that we're not talking months or even multiple months. I'm talking like just a couple weeks worth of not dying. And again, it's worth contemplating, especially with stuff that goes on around the world. I mean, as soon as I start getting up in the morning and looking at Johns Hopkins and how many more infections there are overnight, me and a million other people are doing that same thing. And once that number gets to a certain point, it's pretty inevitable that people are going to start making preparations, and then that once that ball gets rolling, you better be one of those people that make those preparations. I hope all of our communities, stick together and make sure that this isn't crazy. But I've never been through a time where society pauses and then people stop going to work and stop people going to school, and we get in a deal where survival is more important than our everyday lives. But that kind of disruption could happen. Other parts of the country or other parts of the world right now are going through that. Couple weeks of people not being able to interact with one another or do their normal things. That's a big deal. So I hope it's not something that we have to go through. But I feel like where we're at in technology, I could pretty much, if I had to stay home and the electricity came on, I could probably still even make a living for a couple of weeks without having to leave my house. So it's a consideration. A lot of us is the decentralized marketplace that working from home or working telecommuting, it could be a little bit more of an option, and it maybe even keeps us safer because we're not forced out into society to hang with people and to get infected by people. We can sit at home and the market still continues. All right, 330-729-9977, or you can text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBM. I'll be back.
Setting the table.
We're going to set the table.
At the top in 30 minutes past the hour.
Facts and all the information.
Fill your plates with what you want.
An earful of information.
And what you need.
Come to the table.
On 570 WKBN.
From iHeartRadio, #1 for podcasts, stuff you should know.
Whether we're exploring the science behind pollen or the bizarre tale of Jenkins' ear, you can count on us. I'm Josh Clark. There's Chuck Bryant to fill you in on the Stuff You Should Know podcast.
This is the perfect podcast for first-time podcast listeners, veteran fans looking for a new binge experience, or anyone who's ever wondered about the mysteries of life, like Perfect Pitch.
We have over a decade's worth of episodes available.
Get Nature's Stone and never replace your basement flooring again. Your concrete is uneven, damp, and not healthy. Carpet and tile don't last, breed mold and mildew, and give worthless warranties. Nature's Stone permanently corrects uneven concrete and is not affected by dampness or moisture. And with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, there are no hidden maintenance costs. Act now and save up to 50% with our volume discount pricing. Must be installed by the end of February. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Naturestone.
You want that new or used vehicle, but your credit score isn't exactly what you need? You work hard, you've always paid your bills. Who can you turn to? Hi, this is Tino Merlo from Toyota of Warren. Stop in and see me or my staff. Toyota of Warren's here to help, and we can get you financed.
Save your family the stress and high cost of funeral arrangements. Call Conley and Vandenberg Funeral Home, 234-228-9160. Conley and Vandenberg Funeral Home. The care your family deserves at a cost your family can afford.
It's the biggest day of the presidential race so far, with 14 states and over 1,300 delegates at stake. Will a crowded Democratic field finally narrow? MSNBC will bring clarity to the results of Super Tuesday, with Brian Williams, Rachel Maddow, and team breaking down the results. Steve Kornacki at the big board making sense of the numbers, and our NBC News road warriors on the ground with the campaigns and the voters. Super Tuesday, all-day coverage Tuesday on MSNBC.
Message and data rates may apply.
Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that advanced your career skills and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? Find out more. Text RESULT to 79645. Start on the path to earning your MBA or Business Analytics Master's degree online from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the graduate programs from the top-ranked W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University, offered 100% online. Text RESULT to 79645. That's RESULT to 79645.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I was reading an article about the battery technology. For years, even when Bob Graham used to do the show with me, we were always enamored with where we were at battery-wise, because it's super impressive that our electronics work as well as they do, consistent as they do, without being, not having batteries explode and cause fires. There's a lot of power density that they're packing into these electronics, and it's really impressive of how good the battery technology has been up to this point. Now, with Tesla and electric vehicles, they've really been pushing the capabilities of what batteries are doing. And so when they've developed, where their first couple relationships with like Panasonic and some of the other battery developers, they were trying to fit more and more density, where the same amount of space, because you pay a big consequence weight-wise when you have to have so much so many batteries that are in there. If you can increase the density of the power that weight can produce, you have a bigger advantage. Now, some of the resources that are required are not accessible in any great quantity here in the United States. So we're dependent on other countries to have importing some of these rare earth elements that go into the lithium-ion batteries that we do. It's an extremely dangerous and dirty process to create batteries. And so we're so dependent on areas that have less regulation than we do to be able to produce the batteries that we consume. And so you wouldn't be able to get away with some of the production in the United States that they are in China. So we let China do the dirty stuff, and then we send the stuff over to once the dirty stuff's done, we import the less dirty parts of production here in the United States, and that's what we've been using. Well, I was reading an article about solid-state battery technology. And so the big problem that I have with solid-state battery production is the density is actually taking a step backwards, where you're going to have to add more weight, more actual batteries, because the solid-state batteries are less effective, less dense than the traditional lithium-ion version of them. They use different materials, though. So you're thinking and you're looking at the material change means that if you have solid state that might not be up to the same standards as lithium-ion, you have the ability to even know, maybe in the future increasing the density while getting off some of the harder rare earth elements that we're depending on other people. So you kind of see the train of thought. We need to innovate here. We need to use different components. We need to be able to do more of the production here in the United States. At the same time, we're not, they're not quite as good from that standpoint. And so over the next couple months, we're probably going to watch some of these technologies emerge. There might be a couple of electric vehicles that start flirting with the solid states and loading them up and just having more more batteries to give the same amount of range that we're expecting. And that will give us the ability to then innovate through those technologies, and maybe they become better. So what's happening out in Lordstown with LG, having some of the stuff be done here, super attractive. Because if we nail this, if something gets produced here and we create less dependency on China and over in Asia and some of the places in Africa to be able to harvest this stuff on the independence of our energy sources isn't limited to just oil. It's also the rest of the things that our electronics depend on. And you might be a little surprised, maybe a little afraid of how leveraged we are, that if we didn't have relationships with these other countries, we wouldn't have half the electronics that we're toting around. So we do need to have, explore having internal abilities in our own country here, so that even if they're not quite as good, making them so that the technologies innovate and make them better. Or else we're just going to go down this path of needing more and more lithium ion and more of these dirty production techniques. And we're always going to have a dirty country to be able to offload that production to. And, how much dirtier do you want China to be? And especially if something like this happens where you lose access to their market, then what? Does all your electronic production and all of your sales take a pause until they get back on their feet? Well, no, it's necessary that we have the ability to produce our own stuff here in the United States. All right, we're going to take a break. We only got another 10 minutes or so until we have to go off to sports, but plenty of time if you have any questions or want to text me, 330-729-9977, or text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. I'll be back.
At Fairway Ford in Canfield, our SUV and truck inventory is outrageous. We're number one because of our unbeatable market-leading pricing. See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Frank Lordy. Our local criminal justice system is all about plea bargaining. Find out what happened to me when I said no to the deal. Read my book, Framed Innocence.
Available in paperback or ebook from Amazon.com.
Here's some of the stories we're following today. A Mahoney County grand jury has indicted a Chicago man arrested back on Christmas Eve after police discovered he exchanged nude photos via text messages with a minor. The Lawrence County coroner has identified the Crawford County man that was killed Friday morning at a New Wilmington business. The city of Camel is using money from the sold water plant to fix up vacant properties. Residents at the Reeves apartment complex on West Market Street in Warren will get more time to find new places to live after an agreement was reached between the building's new owner and the city of Warren. A 55-year-old Adams Avenue resident in Warren whose dog was stolen told police an unknown man tried to extort $3,000 for the dog's return. And today is Leap Day. Leap Day is added in various solar calendars due to the Earth's period of orbital revolution around the sun takes approximately 6 hours longer than 365 whole days. The Leap Day compensates for the lag. From the Columbiana Cadillac Buick Chevrolet Newsroom, drivecolumbiana.com, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 3 from the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's. For your home or business, call Mazza's Heating and AC in Girard, 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Expect mostly cloudy skies into the afternoon after morning flurries. Another cold day. We start off in the teens on Saturday and heat up into the upper 20s. Tonight, the last of the really frigid nights, partly cloudy, low dropping into the upper teens. In your Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jim Lowboy.
Message and data rates may apply.
Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that advanced your career skills and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? Find out more. Text OFFER to 79645. Start on the path to earning your MBA or Business Analytics Master's degree online from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the graduate programs from the top-ranked W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University, offered 100% online. Text OFFER to 79645. That's OFFER to 79645.
Quiet, comfort, and affordability. The most important things when choosing a place to live. Westchester Square Apartments offers something to fit every need and budget. 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, and studio apartments. They rent apartments, but they sell convenience. You can find luxury living at Westchester Executive Apartments, 1,200 square feet of upscale living with carports, or independent senior living at Westchester Commons, strategically located in the center of Austintown, right next to Route 11. For the perfect apartment, call 330-799-5758. Come and be a good neighbor in a community of good neighbors. Westchester Square Apartments, Austintown.
Archangel Michael Greek Food and Wine Festival is February 28th through March 1st, presented by Archangel Michael Greek Orthodox Church. Doors open at noon each day, free admission, Greek dancers performing daily, and games for the kids. Taste the best Greek food, authentic gyros, lamb sandwiches, Greek wine tasting and sales, and Greek pastries, plus games and prizes. Greek specialty coffee, art, cultural, and religious items, jewelry, and more on display and to purchase. Greek Festival, 12th Street and Porter Avenue in Camel. Credit cards accepted.
Message and data rates may apply.
Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that advanced your career skills and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? Find out more. Text RESULT to 79645. Start on the path to earning your MBA or Business Analytics Master's degree online from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the graduate programs from the top-ranked W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University, offered 100% online. Text RESULT to 79645. That's RESULT to 79645.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Show. Did get a question about the streaming services that I'm currently using. We've been pretty public about what we've attempted to do with replacing, traditional coaxial connection, your cable company, satellite, and whatnot. A couple years ago, we cut the cable and we did all of our content via streaming. And so what we're on right now is first thing is you needed infrastructure. You needed enough good bandwidth to be able to do all of your streaming devices. And what we found worked super well is that the Google Wi-Fi and pretty much some of the advanced features are a little less than what I would like as far as port forwarding and some of the other stuff a router should be able to do. But the Google Wi-Fi was so simple to not only get set up as a router but also add on more access points, and it does a phenomenal job at doing streaming. So second thing we've done is we did Roku, we did Apple TV, we did Fire Sticks, and we did Chromecast, all four of them, different TVs, different setups. New equipment, anything that's smart is usually taking multiple devices and integrating it in your TV. So there will be a time where you don't have to get so many external devices in order to enable these services. But for now, a couple of the TVs, we're using YouTube TV on a Fire Stick. Some of them are built in, but it looks like YouTube TV ended up being the winner. We went from Sling TV to Hulu, and then we're on YouTube TV, and it seems like it's been pretty complete as far as what channels are available. Every once in a while, I have to fire up the little high-definition regular antenna, but for the most part, I've been able to get everything through YouTube TV. So that is the update on what streaming we're doing right now, and we just have Adelphia, yeah, right. We have Armstrong as our cable provider. All right, 330-729-9977. We'll go to Robert. Robert, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Joe, I have a desktop computer. It's an E-machine, and it's approximately 8 to 9 years old. Been running very fabulous. Recently, let's say I have a few windows open, and I'm on Windows 10. So let's say I have a window open, and I open another window, and I'm going through Firefox, and I'm surfing the web, and I've got some windows open once again. So when I open up a YouTube and I watch a YouTube, the YouTube will freeze, and this has been going on now for 2 months, and then all of my windows will go white blank. So I have to shut them all down and start all over.
Okay, so really when a computer gets to this age, you have three things to look for. You have disk access speed, you have total memory, and then you have your processing overhead. And it's going to be one of those three things, or maybe more than one of those three things that are causing it to go non-responding. With 8 years old, you don't want to throw all that much more money to improve or upgrade because it's already probably ready to be replaced. But if you did, I would start with a solid state hard drive, taking the drive that you have right now, cloning it to a solid state drive, because even if it doesn't work out and you end up going with a new machine, you can always move that solid state drive to the next machine. So it's not going to be worthless. So start with that in a solid state and see if that might bring the performance up well enough so you don't have things going to non-responding. Second thing would be your total memory that it has available. So if it's 8 years old, it probably had 4 gigs of memory. Windows 10 really likes it to have 8 gigs or more. So the second thing I would do, maybe pop a couple sticks of memory in there, give it a little bit more capacity on what it's able to do, because the memory is pretty intensive, and if the processor can't handle it, it moves it over to system memory, which you might have not enough of. So that other capacity might be able to get you by. Processing power, if you're maxed out, the only thing you could do is shed some of those processes off, close some programs down, and do a maintenance on it that way. So thanks, Robert. Appreciate the call. Hopefully that helps out. Next week, we're coming back. We're going to have a full show. We're going to get back in our rhythm again, start helping with some of your tech problems and talk about things that are happening in the sciences and physics and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you join me. Come back here next week and join me on the stream or on terrestrial 570 WKBN. Have a great week, everybody. And you've now listened to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN.